This is a Yankee Spiral Ratchet Screwdriver. It's their model number 35. And I ended up buying this, years ago. I don't know, maybe 1980 or so, when I was a carpenter off of a guy that I worked with. He had this, and he said he had it a long time. And I just thought it was cool. I just bought it to have it. And I have Yankee screwdrivers that I back then, that's what you would use. Didn't really have a lot at the time of these screwdrivers. The electric ones that you use today are the powered battery ones, and so you used Yankee screwdrivers. But I still remember this guy's name, Don Lubon. He was an older gentleman at the time. I'm sure he's long gone now. And so I just thought we'd take a look at this. And this is the paperwork that came with it. There's nothing on it that shows like a print date or anything on it that might give an indication as to how old this tool might be. Be interesting to find out. And right here it gives some information about the number 35. It's a light pattern, 9 1/8 inches long, with bit. When closed, 3 1/4 inch stroke. So as you can see, this thing is pretty damn mint. For as old as this thing is, it's had very little use, I think, from the guy. I don't recall if he used it much, and but I never used it. Look at the chroming. There's absolutely no pitting, none whatsoever. And it's probably hard to show. There are fine sleeks in here, but you know, no pitting. I mean, just absolutely one hell of an example of this screwdriver. If anybody has any information on this, I'd love to know. I couldn't really find anything that I saw on the internet. They all looked like crap. I mean, they were rusty. They were just beat to hell. So let's take a look at the bits that come with it. It says there's 3 of them. Now these are kind of rusty. And it just says made by North Brothers Manufacturing Company, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. So the bits that come with it are flat blades. Now on none of these do I detect any writing at all. There's nothing stamped on them to indicate what size they are or what number they might be if a person back then wanted to get replacements. So just to get an idea on the size of that shank of that screwdriver end that goes into the tool, I'm getting 216 thousandths. And of course there's a little bit of rust on there, so could be a hair smaller. I don't want to take any of the rust off. I'm going to leave it just as it is. So closed, it's approximately 7 3/16 long. So let's look at the operation of this Yankee screwdriver. So it's got this locking collar. You'd rotate it to the right as you're looking at it. That unlocks it. And if you have the selector switch all the way up, as you see here, that on the in stroke would turn your screw clockwise and turn it into the project you're working on. Now, if you take that selector switch and put it all the way to the back, now you're taking the screw back out of the project that you're working on. And finally, in the center position, it locks it, so it makes it a rigid. I mean, this thing is, if you look at this, this is just in spectacular, unbelievable shape. Wonder what something like this would be worth. Probably just something more for a collector.